everybody, and happy Thursday, and welcome to the Adventures with Sarah, me, 2025 tour release. I know that we have been talking a lot about the 2025 tours, and our Patreon and Substack fans have already had a chance to book and have a look, and we've booked a bunch of seats already. But now it's your turn. We have all of our tours live and available. If you look at the link on this post, there should be a link there, and if not, it's adventureswithsarah.net/2025 hyphen tours. So if you want to follow along, what we're going to do today, just you and me, just me today, we're going to be kind of going through our schedule and talking about all of the exciting things that we have coming up soon. First of all, though, for those of you that have been following me for a long time, like more than 4 or 5 years, I'm getting kind of 2020 vibes here, and I have to say it's a little weird. We used to talk every day, remember? When we during the pandemic, we used to do coffee chat and cooking, and I'm hoping that I'll be able to get back to doing more of that stuff eventually after this busy season is done. But just for those of you who have been with me a long time, I see you. You know, we've been together a long time, so thank you all of you who have supported me through all of this. And what's really exciting is, can you remember the first time that I broadcast a cooking show? Could you have imagined back then, because I couldn't have, that we would be sitting here together today and we would have more than 30, almost 40 departures all over the world that our friends and colleagues are able to put together. Like, we're doing amazing stuff that I would have never, ever predicted. So thank you so much to our Patreon supporters in particular, and our Substack supporters as well. You guys make a lot of this stuff go, and I will always tell you again and again, you saved my house. So if you love the house in my background, I want to thank you all for that. So thanks everybody for building this business together with us. And our core group of supporters, you know who you are, the regulars who we see everywhere. I see you because you really make everything float around here. There are people that have taken 18 tours with us since we really started working in 2021. Not kidding. We have people that have taken 5, 6, 7 tours. There's a lot of people out there that have done repeat tours with us, and I really appreciate your business, and I appreciate that you're just a part of our family now. I mean, a lot of you guys are just our friends. So thanks for being friends and supporting us. So I want to go ahead and get started introducing you to our 2025 lineup. Just one other little thing before we start. We are venturing into the neighborhood of swag, and here is my first little piece of swag I'm excited about. I've been trying to get a cool baseball cap made for a bit, and look at that. It's an embroidered baseball cap with our logo. I don't know when this kind of thing will be available, but I'm doing some testers on different things. We're going to have vapor water bottles, which are those kind of flat pack water bottles with our logo, and patches for all of our tour guests. And so basically tour guests are going to end up getting some swag. Patreon people are going to get some surprise swag as well as we kind of adventure into this. Luggage tags, that's the other thing that we have coming up. So there's some fun swag stuff coming up. I mean, you guys want it. You keep asking me for it, so let's go for it. All right, so let's go ahead and dive into this year's offerings. If you want to follow along, I'm going to be on my phone here on mobile, and I'm going to just flip through and I'm going to tell you all about the departures we have coming up. You can follow along on your own phone or on your computer at home if you have another screen, and I'm just going to talk you through what we have available. There are some things on here that are under construction, and so we're taking wait lists on, and I'll tell you how that's going to work. And there's a few things on here that are not on here yet because we couldn't get pricing. A lot of our suppliers that we work with, they really can't tell us this far in advance what prices are going to look like. So some things are going to be released later. First of all, I'm just going to start off with the Christmas tours for 2025. We are not going to be booking those until the summertime. So if you're interested in booking a Christmas time tour with us, just hang tight. We do still have seats available on the Paris Christmas tour. Unfortunately, Budapest is now sold out, I believe, but you can get on the wait list for that as well. So I will have out for you Christmas tours, and I'm going to just go ahead and make the first announcement that everybody's so excited about, the Patreon people are excited about. Christmas 2025, I myself am going to be leading a Christmas in London tour. That's not bookable right now, but I know everybody's excited. We already have a long wait list of Patreon members. They're going to have first dibs at booking those spots once we have it priced out and available. But that'll be Christmas, December 2025, so more than a year and a half from now. And it's going to be London. We're going to do high tea at a fancy hotel. We're going to probably rent a double-decker bus and do a crazy tour around London. It's going to be stuff you would never think to do. So even if you've been to London, this will be something really special. And when I was in London recently, I was absolutely amazed by the decorations. So I thought that would be a really superb way to have a fabulous Christmas season in 2025. So stay tuned for that. We will have the return of Budapest and Vienna because that was a very popular offering, and we may have some other things for Christmas. But again, that stuff will be booking later this summer. And again, as always, our Patreon supporters will be the ones who have the first dibs on that stuff. So without further ado, just going to introduce you a little bit to how we're doing we reorganized our landing page because I know that we just had it as a calendar before, and sometimes you just want to look by a country. Like, I don't really care when it is. I want to go to Sicily or I want to go to Thailand. So we've changed the way we sort it. We also put back a lot of this language that was missing for a long time when we redesigned our website. Everybody's favorite line that says that we are not for travel trolls. We do not like travel trolls. We're not for everyone. Remember, we're not for everyone. So you might not like traveling with me, so read the details carefully before you book and make sure that you're cool and easygoing and you're ready to have a good time and you're not so concerned about Wi-Fi or whatever, because we have nice hotels, we do a nice job, but we want to make sure everybody's in the same mindset, which is explore, enjoy, kind of throw away your preconceptions and your normal needs and just go with it. So go ahead and flip through all that stuff. What makes us different every day, you already know what makes us different. We have small groups. Our small groups max out at about 16 people. Some tours have less. Some tours may go to 18 if we have a particular number of singles, for example, but 16 is pretty much our cutoff. By the way, totally side tangent, I am also happy and excited to report that almost all of our tours for this year are sold out. We have a few more seats on Piedmont. I think we have 1 or 2 more seats left on Turkey in a Teacup, but we are doing super well with sales. Umbria is now sold out. Rome is sold out. It's so exciting. I'm so happy to see that you guys are kind of into what we're doing, this kind of renegade, crazy little travel company. Okay, so now you have the option on your screen to be able to choose by destination. So if you're just interested in looking at what's in Italy, for example, you can click on that and it'll filter by that. But if you go a little bit further down, it's going to give you the option to filter by month. And that's how I'm going to talk about them today. I'm going to go kind of by the calendar. So discover by month, and I'm going to click on filter, and I am going to go with January. Okay, so January, we have a new tour to reveal, which is what we call Egypt Express. This was Hoda and I together. We came up with this idea that 2 weeks is a lot of time to dedicate to Egypt, and Egypt is not cheap if you want to do it the right way. Yeah, you can do Egypt on the cheap, but believe me, you don't want to. It's way better to spend the money, do it the right way, but not everybody has 2 weeks of vacation. So we came up with a really tight, really nice highlights tour that's going to stick within your vacation time, hopefully, and it's going to give you all the highlights. So it's going to be 3 days in Cairo or 2 days in Cairo, and then it's going to be down to do the Nile River cruise. So you're going to, and Luxor, you're going to get to see Karnak, all of those things that you saw on the videos with me. I think the only thing that we don't have in that tour is the hot air balloon, but we can probably arrange that for you if you want to do it. It's just a really tight idea for people if they want to just see Egypt, or maybe you want to go to the Middle East and see Jordan, or you want to go to Dubai or something and you want to add that, and this you need it to be a little shorter tour. Okay, so that's our first tour, January with Hoda. It's called Egypt Express. I think it's going to be a fantastic tour. We know it is. We went and we found a new boat that is absolutely beautiful with really good food, so I think you're going to be really happy with that if you want to do Egypt but you don't have the time. Then we're going to go and move on to February, and February is exciting if you look and see what we've got in February. Those of you that know me know that I have been lamenting the fact that I want to do a Southeast Asia dance, that I think Southeast Asia is so kind of annoying to get to. It takes a long time to get there. Even from Seattle, I'm on the plane for almost a full day, 24 hours almost. Once you're there, you may as well do all the things. Thailand, of course, is one of my great passions, but you may not know it, but Cambodia is also. I really love Cambodia, and not only do I love Cambodia, but I love my Cambodian brother, who is an incredible historian and also himself a piece of the history of the country. I've been trying to figure out how do we do Cambodia, but do a little bit more of Cambodia. And so this is what we're going to do this year. We're going to have 3 tours in a row. You can connect them however you like. You can do all of them. You can do one of them. It's completely up to you. So our first tour in that trio is Bangkok and Southern Thailand. So that's the one you saw me do recently that was a huge success. It basically just focuses on the stuff people love the most about Thailand, which is Bangkok. We do some really, my favorite stuff in Bangkok. We go to Chatuchak Market, we go on a tuk-tuk tour, we see some of the coolest temples. Then we fly to the south and we stay on 3 different islands essentially. So we stay in Koh Yao Yai, we stay on Koh Lanta, and we finish on the island of Phuket. So it's a really fantastic islands-based tour. I think it's a little bit more like a vacation. It's the most vacation-y of any tour I've ever done because there's a lot of beach time, there's a lot of boat time. You do have to like boats. I will say that because we spend a lot of time on boats. You do have to like swimming and being at the beach, but even if you weren't a swimmer, you probably still would have a good time. We do snorkeling, so you'd have to kind of be into snorkeling. But I will tell you, everybody that was on that tour raved about it. It was really cool to see how excited people got. And Nico and I loved it so much, we put it back on the calendar. So I will be running that tour next year. And then right after that, we have this wonderful tour that I'm excited about that is on a wait list only right now. That's Cambodia. The reason that's a wait list, and actually Thailand is too, they're wait lists only because we don't have confirmed pricing. It'll be similar to what it was last year, but if you go and click on it, you can get on the wait list, and then within a month or 2, we should have the pricing, and then we'll contact you and you can book. But you want to get on that wait list because we're going to go to the wait list before we advertise that to the general public. Okay? So Cambodia is going to be a 4-day extension. That's going to start in Phnom Penh. We'll spend 2 nights in Phnom Penh and then head to Siem Reap, which is where Angkor Wat is. And this is really exciting for me because I haven't offered Phnom Penh as part of our Cambodia experience before. And we're thrilled to be able to give you a more in-depth view of this fascinating and very soulful country. I just can't express to you how affecting Cambodia is. It's really something that's a part of my heart, and I really hope you'll consider taking that if you do want to do the Thailand tour. After that, we have, by very popular request, we are offering a new Vietnam itinerary. Now, I will not be leading this one. I'm doing Thailand and Cambodia. Vietnam is going to be led by my friend Susanna Peduchini, who is a real kick in the pants. If you haven't met her, she is so much fun. And she is going to be our tour manager along with a local Vietnamese guide. And they're going to start in Hanoi. They're going to do go up to see the Ha Long Bay, which is the beautiful one you see with all the islands and the cruise ships out there. She will stay a night up there. Then it's going to head down to central Vietnam, go to Hue, which I love Hue. Actually, that's my favorite city. It's the imperial city, so you'll see a lot of temples and historic kind of beautiful things. We even have an optional motor scooter tour in there. We've got some really cool new events in all of these tours. Then you're going to go to Hoi An, which I think is fantastic. It's just like, it's the one you see on Instagram with all the beautiful lights. And then you're going to finish on the Mekong Delta and Saigon. So this is a fantastic experience. Vietnam, if it's never been on your list, it should be. It's got really interesting history, but also the food. Oh, the food is really good. Actually, I take that back. Cambodia has amazing food. Thailand has amazing food. So if you want to go and eat well and healthy, it's actually really great for people who are gluten-free because you will eat gluten-free food. Or if you have any kind of sensitivities, this is fantastic because they don't eat a lot of dairy. They don't eat a lot of gluten. So you'll leave there feeling fit as a fiddle, believe me. So that has been a project in my dreams for a long time, and I'm super excited to present that to you now. So that's Bangkok and Southern Islands, Cambodia, and Vietnam. So that you can do a triple treat if you want to book all 3. You can do 2 of them, or you can just choose one. So that's really up to you. So super excited about that. That's going to be, again, February of next year, which is the perfect time to be in those places because it's not too hot and it's not too crowded. So you want to be there right in the right zone. March, coming around to March, we are going to have a repeat. If you want to follow along on your phone, we're going to have a repeat of the Venice staycation, which I'm actually starting in about 3 weeks, the one for this year. My friend Lisa Anderson will be leading the one next year. Everybody adores her. She's fantastic. And this really is one of our most beloved itineraries. I know what you're thinking. Why would I spend a week in Venice? If you've been to Venice for a day or 2 days and it didn't speak to you, give us a chance. Come and travel with us, and Venice will speak to your soul by the end, because we know it like our pockets, as we say in Italian. Venice is another home for me. I have so many friends there. I know every lane. I know everything about it, and it's just such a wonderful place once you really get to know it. So you probably don't know it, and once you do, you'll feel like it's your home as well. And I think that's a cool thing. Another really exciting one, and this is in Andrew's Court. This is Cape Town and Southern Africa. So you might remember I went to South Africa in August this past year, and I love my friend Todd. He is such a trip. He's such a cool guy. He knows so much. He speaks all these African languages. He's super experienced being out in the bush. And he pitched to me while we were on this tour the idea of doing just a South Africa tour that focused mostly on Cape Town. Now, Cape Town is absolutely magnificent. I had no idea. I really didn't know how beautiful it was going to be. It's got the most beautiful seacoast. It's got a ton of variety as far as things to do in the city. It's very affordable. And also they have wonderful wine territory. You can go up and spend days doing wine tasting. So this is going to be an interesting tour that focuses on the history of Cape Town, the coast. It's going to go to the wine areas, and then it's also going to go and do a bit of safari. So you're going to get to see some animals. You'll see penguins actually on the seacoast, and then you'll have a chance to go and see some of the traditional animals that you see in Africa. We're also going to offer an extension to Kruger National Park, which is going to be an extra few days for those that have the time to do that. And Kruger is where you can see the big five. And the big five, that's what everybody goes for. They want to go see the rhinos, they want to see the hippos, they want to see, the lions. So the big five and all of the other animals associated with safaris, that's going to be in the Kruger extension. So this is going to be a great tour. That's Todd and Andrew together, and they are both so much fun. It's going to be like, gas and matches, right? Gasoline and matches. That's what I'm expecting. So if you want to have a great time, those are the guys to travel with. What am I doing in March? You might remember that I recently went to Korea on the way home from Thailand. And the reason I did that is that when I was at World Travel Market, I got an invitation for a meeting with this Korean agency, and they wanted to talk to me about partnering. And I was like, okay, Korea, I guess. I like Korean food, sure. And I met with them, and they were so lovely. They were the most delightful men, and they, said you should come and check it out. So on the way home, I stopped for a day, and I spent a full day with the owner of that local agency. We had so much fun, and he's such a great guy, and I loved Seoul. So they sent me a fantastic proposal, and I'm very excited to present it to you now. It is going to be Seoul, and then down to Jeju Island, which is this gorgeous island. If you watch any of those K-dramas, I'm sure you have seen Jeju Island. And then to Busan, which is their second city, and then back kind of visiting some countryside areas to Seoul. So it's a big loop. I am 100% sure Korea is not on your map. I was absolutely delighted by what I saw in Korea, and I think it's going to be wonderful. And we have some cool activities. One of the highlight activities that they threw in there is that they have kind of like an Iron Chef dinner theater where you go and they do kind of comedic cooking dinner show kind of thing where it's all cooking. And we're going to do that. So apparently it's a really famous, almost performance art thing, and it involves food. So this is something I'm very, very excited about. If you're into K-pop, if you're into K-drama, this is going to be right up your alley. And believe me, the food is going to be an absolute focus of this. We're going to learn how to make kimchi, which is a really big part of their culture. So I'm super pleased to offer this in March next year, and I will be the guide along with the Korean counterpart, and we're going to be running that together. So I was incredibly impressed with Korea. It's so incredibly tidy and organized, but also exotic feeling, amazing food. Super happy about this. So please think about that. Have a look at that itinerary. I'm very excited to offer that. And then also same month, March, if you do Venice, you can then hook onto another staycation that's a new one that's being offered by my friend Paolo. Paolo is a local Roman guide who's a good friend of ours, and he and I together have concocted a Lazio and Rome tour. So this is a sequel to the 7-day Rome tour that I'm already offering. The one that I'm going to do this year is already sold out. And it stays in a different part of Rome for 3 days and then explores the countryside around southern Rome in Lazio, the region of Lazio. And then it's going to go to the northern part of Lazio, and it's going to explore tombs, it's going to go to palaces, because all around Rome are all of these famous families, these rich papal families that built their pleasure palaces. So there's amazing architecture, beautiful palaces that nobody ever goes to see because they don't know about them, but we do. So I'm so happy about this. Paolo and I designed this tour together, and so he's going to be leading the kickoff one in March of next year. And I really invite you to look at that one as well if you know Italy and you like Italy, because it's going to be something that you would not expect. And that, at the end of the day, is really what we do, isn't it? We try to surprise and delight you with things you wouldn't do on your own. The other thing we're going to offer oh, that's March. Yeah, we're moving on. And then in March of 2025, we also have Tuscany, so that you could do those 3 in a row. You could do Venice, you could do Rome and Lazio, and you could do Tuscany. And that, again, is our extremely successful and very popular tour, staying at my friend Roberto Becchi's home. We've changed it up a little bit this year because it has gone to Florence in the past, but most of you guys have seen Florence. You don't need to go to Florence. So we've added an extra day going to completely different unknown places you would never find on your own. And the best part, Roberto is absolutely a delight. He's been a friend of mine for 25 years. His wife Patty is lovely, and you'll stay in their home. They will be preparing meals for you. You can do yoga with Patty. It's really like just being a part of a Tuscan family for a week. So that one, I think, is you can't lose. Everybody who's taken it has really enjoyed it. Okay, so we're going to move on to April. So I'm going to click on April here. And we are happy to offer, again, Jordan and Egypt. So Jordan and Egypt are going to be 2 of our tours that we have arranged to kind of connect. And in fact, Jordan starts on the 31st of March, but it's actually April. So it appears in the March listings. So these are 2 tours that we are very dedicated to. Jordan is such a fantastic destination, and my friend Mohammed is a joy to be with. Everybody who meets him just is delighted with him. And we have a really great itinerary going to Petra, going to Jerash, which is this ancient Roman city, going to the Dead Sea. You can float in the Dead Sea. And we stay at super nice hotels. All of this is kind of part of our initiative to make the Middle East a little bit more easy for you guys, a little bit more inviting. We stay at really nice hotels. We do cooking classes and really get into the cuisine. I think you're going to love it. I think that tour is really a winner. And if you do that one, you can then go on the full-length Egypt tour. The full-length Egypt tour in April of 2025 is going to be the 2-week one that we're already doing. The only thing that we're going to change up a little bit, that's not even stuff you need to worry about. So we're going to change up just a few things to fine-tune it, but for the most part, it'll be similar to what you saw me do. And probably, I'm not going to guarantee it, but probably I'm going to be on that tour in April. I'm not 100% sure, but probably. And maybe I'll be in Jordan also. Maybe. I'm not promising anything because we haven't confirmed my schedule yet. But Hoda will be there for sure. And Hoda, of course, is the most lovely person I think I've ever met. She's like my sister. She's family to me. And I know she'll take really good care of you. Speaking of wonderful kind of exotic destinations, Turkey in a Teacup is back. This was my kind of little kooky idea this year because we were offering a bunch of different Turkey tours, but I thought, what do people really want to do? They want to come if they are nervous about going to Turkey and they don't really know anything about Turkey. They just want to come and have a taste test. So this is what is the taste test. Turkey in a Teacup. It's a really tight tour, just a little bit over a week. You'll see Istanbul, you'll see Cappadocia, you'll see Ephesus. Those are the core sites everybody wants to see in Turkey. And we are absolutely confident that after you go with Thailand and you see that, you're going to come back. You're going to be absolutely delighted to come back and do our sailing tour, or you're going to want to come back and do our coastal tour. We have a lot of different Turkey itineraries that are on the boards. So this is kind of our invitation for anybody who's a little hesitant, or maybe you don't have 2 weeks to do a Turkey tour that goes and sees the entire thing. We just distilled it down to the best parts. And I think that's a really successful formula that will help you get a sense about Turkey. Turkey is wonderful and also super easy to get to. From Seattle, we have direct flights to Istanbul on Turkish Air. So it's easier than ever to get there. And it's a really good time to see Turkey if that's ever been on your list of destinations. All right, so that is what we're doing in April. In May, we have a new exotic tour coming to us from Andrew, which is Uzbekistan and Kazakhstan. And I know what you're thinking. You've seen Borat. I know. You're not going to meet Borat. Uzbekistan is a Silk Road country that is a former Soviet Union territory as well. And it is one of the most beautiful places just from a visual arts point of view. You can kind of see in some of the images we have on the website the mosques, a lot of the art and their textiles. If you're interested in textiles, it's something completely different. I know that's not on your list of things to see, but we really feel strongly that this is going to be a fantastic tour that people will really enjoy. We met with a bunch of different providers for this, and Andrew just spent 2 weeks there. And so I think we've come up with a really great program that's going to be something completely different. And we love to surprise you every year. And one thing I just want to mention, don't expect all of these tours that I'm telling you about to be on the calendar for 2026. Sometimes we just like to surprise you. We like to change things up. Like, we had Provence on the calendar in the past. We don't this year. We might bring it back next year. Who knows? So that's the thing. It's always fun to kind of keep you on your toes. So if you see something you like that sounds good, you should take it, because who knows what we're going to do next year. We're unpredictable. A new entry into our portfolio of destinations is Spain. Finally, everybody's been asking when we're going to do Spain. We have finally put together a really cool Spain tour. We're just calling it Central Spain, but actually the idea came to us because I love staying in paradors when I go to Spain. Paradors are former castles that they turn into elegant lodgings. And we met with a company that does tours, that organizes tours, that stay just in these castles. So that's what we're doing. We're doing a castles tour of Central Spain. You're going to sleep in castles. You're going to go and do wine and food activities, but you're going to see a lot of the major things that there are to see in Central Spain. So if you've never been to Spain before, this is a great taster. If you have been to Spain before, this is definitely a different twist on a different approach to seeing Spain. That's kind of more our style, staying in kind of cool accommodations and really having good food and wine. So that's going to be with my friend Susana Peruchini, who has lived in Spain for many, many years. She's basically a local, and she is a real hot tamale. I think you're going to have a great time with her. So that's May of 2025. And then we have Morocco, as per usual, with my sweet friend Muna. She is just an absolute doll. And of course, I'm hoping I can eventually make an appearance on one of those tours. I can't say for sure, but Morocco is absolutely wonderful. If you're not sure about Egypt, you're not sure how you're going to feel about North Africa, go to Morocco first. Morocco is easy, it's colorful. There's no Louvre there. There's no like big in-your-face famous sight to see. It's all a vibe. It's just beautiful, colorful towns. It's incredibly interesting markets, sights, smells, wonderful food, music. Just culturally, it's one of the richest countries. They may not have the big sight that you see in other places, but they have an incredible culture that will keep you fascinated. And also, you get to go to the desert and do that glamping, which is so cool. And of course, we have to be kind of theatrical, which is we ride our camels through the desert to our accommodations. That's how you reach your accommodation, is on a camel. And camel riding is very fun. So this is a great tour. It's also a nice tight tour. It finishes in Essaouira, which is kind of different than many other mainstream tours you might see. That's the beach town, the seaside resort town of Morocco, to give you your vacation from your vacation. So I'm very happy with this itinerary. It's already running this year. If you wanted to go this year in May, you could certainly give us a call and we might be able to fit you in. So, and then my most exciting tour of the year, do you want to know what I personally am the most excited about? This is what I'm the most excited about. Indonesia. I've been trying to put this together for at least 6 or 7 years, contacting different providers, trying to find the right fit, but also the right itinerary. And I've never found anything that really spoke to me until not so long ago. It was only maybe a month or two ago, I finally found exactly the itinerary that spoke to me. It starts in Jakarta, it goes to Yogyakarta, it goes through Sumatra, Java, goes through Java and ends in Bali. So you're going to get to see some absolutely beautiful, beautiful landscapes. You're going to go to Bali and Ubud, which are very, very famous. And it's going to be just a really cool thing. Best part, Indonesian food is amazing. And we have arranged to have dinner with a noble family in Ubud, and we get to dress all in Indonesian costume. So we'll learn a lot about the religion, the traditions, the arts and crafts. It's a very rich itinerary, and I'm excited for you to have a look at it because I'm thrilled. I am going to be on that tour, and I'm going to be bringing at least one of my family members along with me. So you get to try to travel with the Murdoch crew if you wish. So that is May of 2025. I'm super excited about that, and I hope you will join me because that is my top pick. If I picked one tour of next year that I think you should go on, that's the one, is Indonesia, because we've been working on that for a long time. Okay, so that's our May program. June, what is our June program? So in June, we are offering our first full Croatia only tour. You might remember a couple years ago we did our Croatian staycation or Dalmatian staycation, which was a huge success. Everybody really loved it. And I thought, well, let's reboot that. Let's bring that back. But what I realized was almost everybody that took the Dalmatia tour added on Dubrovnik, almost all of them. And I'm like, okay, well, why don't we just do a tour that does Dubrovnik? And then we thought, well, actually, why don't we just do an all Croatia tour? So it's going to start in Zagreb, finish in Dubrovnik. This is one of Andrew's projects. He'll be your guide. He knows everything about Croatia. You're going to eat super well. You're going to see some beautiful islands. It's really a beautiful itinerary. So if you've never been to Croatia, or if you have and you'd like to go with a local, basically, this is the way to go. The Croatia tour is going to be really nice. Also in June, another Andrew project, Georgia and Azerbaijan. Now, a lot of you know Andrew and I have been friends for about more than 30 years. And when we were young pups, he went to Georgia, or he was obsessed. No, hadn't gone. He was obsessed with Georgian cuisine, and I could never figure out why. He had this Georgian cuisine cookbook, and he used to make these big dinner parties for all of our friends. This is in the 90s. And I was amazed by the food. Like, who'd ever even heard of Georgia as a country? And it's actually become really a hot destination for food and wine tourism. And so Georgia and Azerbaijan is one of Andrew's passion projects, and I think you will really enjoy it if you want something completely different, but with excellent food, excellent wines. We actually have a lot of friends in the wine industry who are in Georgia, and really people who like to eat well. This is going to be a great tour for you. Azerbaijan is a really interesting and strange kind of up and coming kind of Dubai-like place. So that's an interesting twist to get a couple of different perspectives on former Soviet Union countries. And then in June, we have a new guide joining us this year, and I'm so excited about it. My friends Ruth and Cristiano, who you might remember. Ruth, during the pandemic, cooked pesto with me. She lives in the Cinque Terre. She's lived there for more than 30 years. She's an American who married a local in Vernazza. And she and Cristiano have the most beautiful Airbnb I've ever seen in Vernazza. And recently, Cristiano has decided that he wants to get into doing tour organizing. And I've wanted to do a Cinque Terre-ish tour for a while, but not something that only focuses on the Cinque Terre, because the tourism there is kind of out of control. So that's what I asked them to do. I asked them, here's your mission. Create a tour itinerary that's going to give people the best of the Cinque Terre, the insider's view of the Cinque Terre, without all the crowds. It's going to give them the opportunity to kind of have a taste of what the real life there is like, plus the wider area, which is Liguria. So Liguria is a region of Italy that is kind of like a boomerang-shaped edge of the northwest coast of Italy. And it is famous for having the Riviera. It's the Italian Riviera. So this is what this is. It's a Riviera tour, essentially. It's going to go from La Spezia, and it's going to go up to Levanto and then finish in Genova by way of Portofino. You'll have boat days. We're going to have a couple of different days where you go out on boats, which you must. You have to go out on a boat if you're going to be there. And I think it's going to be just a lovely experience. And Ruth and Cristiano are going to be your hosts for that tour. So getting to spend a week or however many, 8 days with Ruth, that is a delight. She is such a wonderful hostess. I think you'll really enjoy that, and I'll probably have her on maybe over the summer to interview her, and she can talk a little bit more about her plans for this tour. But this is basically like having a local in the Cinque Terre, have you stay with them for a while. You won't stay with them personally, but you know what I'm saying. It's going to be kind of like a personal invitation to see the Cinque Terre and the Italian Riviera from a local's point of view. And that's something very special. I don't think there's anything else out there exactly like this. So very happy with that. That's June. So that's swimming weather, hiking weather, perfect time to be there. Also new in Italy this year is Sardinia. Yeah, I know you've all been asking about this. So yeah, we did some research this past summer, Lisa Anderson and I, on Sardinia. That's Italy's second island. It's the second biggest island. And we decided that this was a fantastic destination. We had been asked to go and look at it for a custom tour. We're doing actually 2 custom private tours in Sardinia this year. And so next year we've decided to open that up to the public, and we're going to have just a public Sardinia tour, and that's going to be in June, which is a great time to be there. Sardinia is very famous for having the most beautiful beaches in all of Italy. It is also really different. That was the thing that really struck me. I'm used to Sicily, which is very different for a lot of reasons, but I thought Sardinia would be more similar to the mainland, and it's really not. It has a unique culture, a unique food culture especially, and a history that I didn't even really understand. They have a lot of prehistoric historical sites you can visit. So it's a much richer destination than you might expect. You're going to eat really well, and yes, there will be beach time, which you know how I feel about the beach. So this is a great kind of hybrid tour again, where there's going to be a lot of cool stuff, but also some vacation beachy time. So I think that's going to be really a lot of fun. So that's Lisa Anderson hosting that tour in June of next year. So I'm taking July and August off, as I always do, because who wants to work in July and August? So we'll be back at it in September. I am, by the way, it's obviously not for sale. I am doing a private tour during that time, and I just wanted to tell you quickly about that. I was approached to do a family tour. So I'm going to be leading a tour of one whole family with teenagers, grandparents, everybody in between, and we're going to be doing a custom private tour that's going to go from London to Naples. So it's going to be really fun. It's something very different, and we can do that. They have, I think, 14 guests, and as long as you have at least 6 to 10 guests to start as a seed group, we can fit something to your budget. And I'm going to be guiding that personally because I can't wait. That's going to be really fun. So just do know that if you don't see anything that fits you right now and you have people that you could do this with, we can custom build tours for you, but we need to know now. So if you're thinking about 2025, we need to know now if you want us to build you a custom tour for next year. All right, September. Sicily, we're going to offer again our duo of Sicily tours, Sicily Highlights and Sicily Pleasures, which of course are the two tours that I cultivated after about a decade in Sicily, deeply studying it. And this year, actually, I am going to hand the baton over to somebody who I think is marvelous. Our Sicily tours of 2025 are going to be led by my friend Giusy Coppola. You may remember my friend Sal, maybe you don't, I'm not sure, but he is a good friend of mine in Palermo. And his sister and I really hit it off, and she is absolutely fabulous. She is from Palermo, but she's lived in the United States, so she speaks absolutely perfect English. She's super knowledgeable and really passionate about her island. And I did not think I'd ever find anybody I would trust with the Sicily itineraries, just because I have a really specific way I want it done. I have such a love for it. I want it done the right way. And Giusy, she already led one tour for us. She did September last year, and people loved her. And I was so happy to hear that. So we're going to bring her back for next year. She's going to be leading 2 for next year. So Sicily Highlights and Sicily Pleasures, very early September. First week of September is Highlights, and then the Pleasures tour takes place right after that. So absolutely love that you're going to be traveling with Giusy. She's fantastic. And she's going to be with me in Sicily in about a month. Actually, she and I are going to be traveling together. So you'll get to meet her more if you want to know a little bit about her before you commit to that. Also in September next year, again, Veneto and Slovenia. We're offering that again this year, but it's already sold out. And this is our original tour, the very first tour Adventures with Sarah ever offered, was this funky little weird tour going from a tiny little village outside of Venice, wandering around the Prosecco area, heading over into Slovenia. It's basically food and wine, and it's the best food and wine that you can find, and a bunch of places you've never heard of. So it's kind of like you got to trust us that we're going to take you somewhere great. You're going to stay in beautiful hotels and eat great food and hang out with a lot of cool people. And it's so funny because this tour is always so popular, and it's a tour that, like, who knows where the Veneto even is? Most people, I mean, you guys do, but that's not a popular destination. So it's really fun to see that we can come up with something quirky that is so beloved. A lot of people who have taken a lot of tours with us will say that this is their most beloved tour. So Veneto and Slovenia, September 2025 is the next departure. All right, and then another big one that has been on the calendar for a long time, trying to be cultivated. We have finally put together and are thrilled to be offering a Scotland tour. So those of you who followed me during the pandemic, who love the Scottish Blethers, the lovely Scottish ladies that we have in Guide Collective who did all of the fun podcasts and writing about Scotland. Well, one of the 3 of them, Susan Brown, has agreed to partner with us on a Scotland tour. It is a really nice view of Scotland, and she's a highly experienced guide. It's a little bit of a different itinerary. It's not really the mainstream approach to Scotland, but we think it's a really good approach to Scotland. I'm just really excited. Susan is very cool. So you'll be in Edinburgh, of course. Inverness, you're going to see the Highlands, and you're going to really get to see it from a local's point of view. So that's a very exciting new thing coming in September of 2025. I will warn you, Scotland is just not cheap. So it's one of our more expensive itineraries, but no matter how you slice it, if you look at any other tour company, it's kind of the same thing. So it's an expensive destination, but it's well worth it if you've never been. You probably don't know, but years ago I researched the Scotland book for Rick Steves, and I had such a great time. I never expected to love it as much as I did. So I think you guys will really enjoy it as well. Okay, and then September 2025, we have Umbria, which is already sold out for this year. I'm leading the first departure. Umbria is the central region of Italy. They call it the Green Heart of Italy. It's right north of Rome. It's where Orvieto is, if you've been to Orvieto before. And it's a tour that starts in Orvieto, goes to the countryside in the middle of nowhere. We stay at a castle, and finishes in Perugia, which is the capital of chocolate in Italy. That in-between place, that castle, we've scheduled it. They've actually requested that we schedule it during their grape harvest. And our guests are going to be invited to go out and participate in making the wine, clipping the grapes and being a part of the whole process, which is something very unique. And I'm super excited that we are able to put this together. So that's going to be led by Paolo, who is just an absolute doll. He did the Rome tour most recently for us in September. Everybody adored him. He's really chill. He's so chill. You're going to have a great time with Paolo. So that's Umbria, September 2025. Where am I going to be in September of 2025? Well, I typically don't work in September, but I decided that the one tour that needs a little love, a little bit of spice, is Romania. So Romania, I did in 2019, right before the pandemic. We ran a very small Romania tour with a group, and we've been running tours ever since with 6 people, 7 people, very small groups. And I think it needs a little love. You guys need to hear a little more about it. So if you even considered going to Romania, or even if you haven't, come with me. I'm going to go, and it's going to be a lot of fun. Romania is really a fascinating, fascinating country. And it's hard to describe, but I have a lot of writing on my blog about that visit, and we have a lot of videos and things as well. So if you're interested in finding out more about that, I highly recommend looking into it. But Romania essentially is hidden Europe. It's a country nobody goes to for some reason, and it's tourist free practically. You'll go to parts of Romania that have traditions and lifestyle that look like they're from 100 years ago. And I don't know any other country in Europe that you can get that time travel sensation that maybe you used to get 25 or 30 years ago. This is true time travel when you go there. So if you've always wanted to do something that really takes you back to the past, Romania is a great, great place to go. And it's probably our most affordable tour. So if you're looking for kind of a budget-friendly tour as well, this one is very budget-friendly and really a winner. Everybody who has taken it has raved about it. So I will be on that one. I'm looking forward to it. And then we have in September, it's always a busy month, Lisa's classic tour of Piemonte. That's her staycation that starts in Torino and ends in Cuneo. So you have 2 hotel destinations. And it's really just all about Lisa's hometown. She lives really close to Cuneo. She's going to take you out like a local, like a friend, visiting her to all of her favorite places, go walking in the woods, go and see historic palaces. Piedmont is just a region that people don't know a lot about. And it's an absolutely magnificent region. It's kind of the buffer zone between Italy and France in a way. The Savoy family used to actually be more a part of France. So you have a lot of French flavor within your Italian culture. It's something very unusual, and I highly recommend it. And Lisa, of course, is very passionate about her hometown, and I think you'll love traveling with her. Everybody does. And then also next year, we have our Harvest Tour, which is our classic tour we offer every year with Andrew, where he goes through Slovenia, Croatia, that area, and samples everything that's being harvested. So you're going to have cheeses, wines, olive oils, all the things that are coming out at that time of year. And I will tell you, this one is almost fully booked. Our Patreon people have almost fully booked that. So if you're interested in doing the Harvest Tour, you might want to jump on that. That tour sold out 2 dates this year. It's a wildly popular tour, but it's a food and wine and just relaxation and kind of enjoying the harvest season in Europe. So highly recommended if you want to do something relaxing in September. All right, and then we've got October. And in October, we're going to be reprising our Turkey in a Teacup tour. So that's offered twice next year. That's in April and in October. And then if you liked the Turkey in the Teacup and you want to extend your stay, you can do right after that the Turkey sailing staycation, the tour I'm going to be doing with Thailand this year, where we rent a gullet, which is a traditional Turkish sailing boat. It's not a fancy cruise ship, it's a traditional sailing boat, and you sleep on board, and we just do whatever we want. We take that boat into little coves and go swimming. And October apparently is the most beautiful time of year for the Turkish coast. They usually have reliably warm weather, the water is warm. So this is something I'm very excited about doing this year. It's completely sold out for this year, so we will be offering it again as a pair in the same way we did this year. So you can do turkey in a teacup, and then only eight people total can book on the Turkey sailing staycation, because we do have a gullet and it's got a finite number of rooms. So that's in October also. We have Naples and the Amalfi Coast coming back for next year. We've changed our Naples tour a little bit. It was before just 8 days in Naples, but now we've decided that the Amalfi Coast needs to be a little bit bigger part of that. So it's going to be part in Naples and part in Sorrento. And this is going to be led by Lisa Anderson. She and I have worked on this itinerary, tinkering with it a lot, because we think Naples is really worth your time. We think Naples is so rich and so interesting, but also very intimidating. So it's nice to have somebody with you who knows what they're doing, who knows where they're going. We have friends everywhere. We have wonderful friends everywhere who will show you like a VIP. You'll get to see Naples and the Amalfi Coast unlike anybody else. So we're very excited about this new kind of twist. We'll be taking you up and down the Amalfi Coast. You're going to have an opportunity to see Pompeii and a wonderful palace called Caserta. So lots of great day trips. It's not just really staying in Naples. Naples itself is a great city and there's lots to see, but there's a lot in the periphery around Naples. That whole region around Naples is so rich. That's kind of the focus of the tour. Okay, so that is a reboot of something we've already had before in October 2025 with Lisa Anderson. And then another big reveal for kind of new exotic destinations, we are going to be offering Japan. Now, you probably don't know this, but I'm leaving for Japan day after tomorrow because I have a custom tour. One of my most beloved groups of travelers who've traveled with me for, I think this is our 6th year. I do a custom tour for them every year and I lead it. I'm going to be leading a tour of Japan for them, and I'm absolutely thrilled with our itinerary. It turned out so beautifully that I thought, why don't we offer this up as a tour for the general public next year? So that's what we're doing. It's going to be led by Andrew and our local Japanese guide, and I think you will really enjoy it. October apparently is one of the very best times to go. We're going in April, of course, to see the cherry blossoms, but that's very crowded. So we thought we'd offer it at a little bit different time of year when it's, yeah, okay, you'll miss the cherry blossoms, but you're going to enjoy the country more because it won't be quite as madness with tourism. Apparently Disneyland in Tokyo is over full right now. So October might be a better option for going to Japan. So we're really excited to offer that. That's something brand new. And if you're interested in that, just stay tuned because starting on, I guess it would be Monday. On Monday, I'll start broadcasting live from Japan, and you'll get to see everything that I see as we go. I'll probably post a how to pack for Japan video on Saturday as I'm getting ready to go, so you can see what I'm thinking for that. All right, so that is our October schedule. November, the last thing on our schedule is the Tuscany staycation at Roberto's. That's going to be a second departure in November, and you can do the same tour. And I think November and March are both great times to be in Tuscany because in March you get all the new spring flowers leading up to Easter, all the festivities, and then at the end of the year you're going to get that wonderful kind of smoky smell in the air and all those wonderful foods like truffles and the fresh olive oil. There's just a lot of wonderful things that happen in the fall. So that's why we offer them in those times. Now, I know the common question a lot of people have is like, tell me when the best time to go to this destination is. When you look at my schedule, there's a reason I put tours in the particular spaces I do because this is what I believe are the best times. So, I think that October is probably the best time to be going to Japan. I think that March and April are excellent times to be in Jordan and Egypt. So that's why we offer them. We offer them because those are the times that we think are the absolute best. Now, is that everything? You might be wondering. Yes and no. We do have a couple of other tricks up our sleeves that we're not quite ready to announce yet because this is earlier than we've ever released our tours, as you probably know. We usually wait until June, but we've had so many people asking, we tried to pull it a little forward this year. So here's just a few details on how booking is going to work. First of all, if you saw something you liked, go ahead and go to that link, adventureswithsarah.net/2025-tours. And most tours are available for booking straight away. You can jump in right now and you can book, put your $600 non-refundable deposit down, and then you'll have your seat reserved. There are a few that are instead are going to direct you to a wait list. So that's going to be Uzbekistan, Thailand, and Cambodia. And I think that's all of them. And that's just because we don't have confirmed pricing. So go ahead and put your name on that list. Anybody on that list will have first opportunity to book those tours. And I'm going to tell you, Thailand is going to sell out. We already have a lot of people on that waiting list. So if you are interested in that tour, get on that wait list ASAP, because I'm 100% sure that's going to sell out as soon as we open it. Okay. So otherwise you can just go ahead and book. Now the booking process goes like this. So it's you click on it, you're going to go to We Travel, which is our booking engine, and you're going to go ahead and pick if you're going to be in a double room. That's 2 people, so you'll have 2 spots for a double room, or a single. And just remember, you have to choose a single room. If you want a roommate, we can help you look around for one, but you have to book as a single until you actually have a roommate already booked for the reservation. And if you're looking for somebody to go, I highly recommend going to our Adventures with Sarah travel community here on Facebook. Women, if you're looking for a partner to travel with, you can go to our Adventures with Sarah solo female travel community, which is our place that the ladies get together. It's like the girls' clubhouse. It's like the girls' bathroom in high school, where we sit around and we whisper about cool travel gear. So go ahead and jump in there, and you can ask, and we have had people find travel partners that way as well. Okay, our deposit policy is a little bit different this year. We are trying to be a little bit more flexible with people. Unfortunately, we do need to make the deposits non-refundable, because all of these wonderful hotels and activities and guides, they want money up front. So sorry to say we do have a non-refundable deposit policy, but if you get travel insurance, that should cover that deposit. And what we do allow is you may now change your deposit to another tour on the same calendar year once up to 90 days before the departure. So that means if something happens and 3 months before your tour departs, you can't go after all, you can switch that deposit to another tour within that calendar year. So we're trying to be as flexible as we can for you guys and make sure that you don't get disappointed. But again, if you get travel insurance, that would be covered anyway. And we do really recommend travel insurance. You'll have, if you book, you're going to have details of where to buy travel insurance in your confirmation email. I think that's probably about everything I wanted to cover. I don't know. I'm so excited, you guys. We have so many things on the calendar that I think are going to be absolutely spectacular. And like I said, we will have some more things that are going to be late arrivals, things that are not on the calendar, that are going to appear sometime probably in mid-June. One of the other things that's been on my mind is the Netherlands tour, so we're thinking about that. And of course the Christmas tours, those are going to be posted a little bit later in the year once we're closer to the date and we can confirm all the pricing. So look for that information. I'm going to say late summer. Late summer, we're going to have all of that stuff up for sale. So I think that's it. I hope you guys are excited. I'm super excited. I'm going to have my little baseball cap, my little swag here. I'm going to wear this to Japan, I think, because it's pretty cool. I'm not a hat person, but that's okay. So I'm really, really glad that you've joined me today to talk about our 2025 tours. Please feel free to reach out. If you go to email info@adventureswithsarah.net. I might answer it, Andrew might answer it, one of us will get in touch with you. That's what we love about this little tiny company, is we're a community, we're all friends. If you need to talk to us before you book and you have questions, feel free to reach out. We're happy to answer those questions. And I would say go and book something. Go on an adventure with me. If you are interested in doing one this year, like I said, we do have a few other things available, but not much. So you're going to have to book something pretty soon. But I think that's all. And of course, if I have one word to say about everything that we've put together, this is months worth of work, by the way. This is like 6 months worth of hard work to put all these things together. The one word to describe my feeling right now is Andiamo. Let's go. Ready? Go book. Thanks for joining me, friends. Mwah. I will see you from Japan at the end of the year. Or end of the week.